Every interview experience is different from the other. But no matter which job you're applying for or who your interview is, there are a few things that remain common. So in this video, we're going to talk about a few common guidelines to follow before the interview, during the interview, and after the interview to ensure a smooth interview experience for both you and your interviewer. So without further ado, let's begin. Here are the top 7 things to do before you even appear for the interview. Number 1. Apply even for those jobs whose requirement you meet by 50% or more. Ideally, companies would want unicorn with wings for employees. So they write down every skill they can think of in the requirement section, when in reality they might need much less. So even if you meet 50% or more of their requirements, apply for that job. Worst case scenario, you will not get the job, but you'll at least walk away with some interview experience. Having said that, number 2, read the job description carefully. Read how they've described the job, how they describe the company, minimum qualifications, preferred qualifications, responsibilities of the job. After reading everything word to word, you will understand where's the overlap between what they want and what your strengths are. This will help you decide what examples to use for the behavioral questions that we've discussed in this course. Number 3, research about the company. It is super impressive when a candidate does his or her research about the company they're applying to. So check out the company's website, latest news articles, social media channels like LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Talk to your seniors or anybody in your network who has worked for that company. By doing this, you're trying to understand the mission of the company, what products or services they offer, how are their public reviews, what clients they're associated with, how are their leader records, what are their future plans. This research is not just to impress the interviewer, but also for you to understand if this employer is good for your career. Plus, it will give you an idea of what to inquire about, just in case the interviewers ask, do you have any questions for us? Without making it stalking level weird, you can even do a little bit of a research about the person who will be interviewing you, just to know about their experience, values, likes and dislikes. Number 4, prepare examples. After researching about the job and the company, prepare examples from your experience or education that are aligned with what they are looking for. These examples can be about a time when you got a promotion, delivered some product or service on time, resolved a conflict, made innovative changes to an existing process, learned something new, so on and so forth. Don't worry, we have discussed in detail about what these examples can be about and how to present them in the rest of the videos. Number 5, always be honest. You might worry that your biggest accomplishments are not good enough for the company. But frankly, they're not expecting you to be the next Bill Gates or for you to come up with the COVID-19 vaccination. Interviewers are experts at detecting a lie because they have seen a number of people do it. So you be honest and tell them how you think your skills align with what they want. You may or may not get the job if you're honest, but if you lie, you definitely won't. Number 6, practice, practice, practice. After every video in this course, write down bullet points of how you will answer that behavioral question and practice answering it out loud in front of a mirror, in front of a few friends, or in front of a camera. It sounds like a lot of effort, but it will help you get over the interview jitters, especially for your first couple of interviews. And finally, just a day or 2 before your interview, here are a few nitty-gritties to take care of. Have a couple of resume photocopies ready. Ask a friend who works there or the recruiter for suggestions on the dress code. For example, if you're interviewing for a B2B sales job where they usually wear suits on a normal work day, then don't go to that interview wearing jeans or shorts. But if you're applying for the role of a software dev for a startup, then wearing jeans and a polo shirt might be good enough. A professional is expected to be well groomed. So play the part, even during the interview. Check out the location of the interview, how to get there, so that you arrive at least 15 minutes early. And most importantly, the night before the interview, get enough rest. Interviews can be day-long and exhausting. So you will be tired, you will be nervous, and you will need to give your best performance. So get adequate rest the night before. Apart from the questions mentioned in this course, the interviewer sometimes might throw a curveball at you with their own personalized behavioral questions. Even though the way you answer each question is slightly different, here are a few common guidelines to follow for all of them. Number one, if you don't understand the question, always clarify. For example, if the question is, tell us about a time you had to lead a diverse team. And if you're not sure what diversity means, ask them if they are referring to age, roles, or ethnicity. Number two, never ever reveal confidential information about your previous employer. You will come off as someone who can't be trusted and hence cannot be hired. Number three, in terms of body language, do not slouch. Sit confidently and maintain good eye contact with your interviewer. A warm smile also makes everyone feel comfortable. Hand gestures are also fine, but don't fidget around by shaking your leg, playing with a pen. Number four, keep all of your answers within 60 to 90 seconds and give the interviewer a chance to ask follow-up questions about the details that they are most interested in. This will make the interview an interesting conversation rather than a boring monologue. And most importantly, remember, there is no right or wrong way to answer a question. You can use the methods that we have discussed in this course or something else, like the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. It's really for you to decide how to best reply to a question, depending on the situation and the interviewer. And that understanding comes with practice. At the end of the interview, you might either want to forget all about it if the interview went bad, or call up some friends and hang out if it went right. But don't relax just yet, because here are the 6 things you must do after every interview. Number 1, ask for next steps. After you're done with the last round and just before you leave, ask the interviewer about the process moving forward. Will they contact you for another interview? How many days does it normally take to arrive at a decision? Or will you be notified about the results? Every company's interview process is different, and getting some clarity on the next steps will help reduce any anxiety you might feel while you wait for the results. Number 2, analyze how you did. As soon as you leave the interview room, write down some bullet points about what interview questions they had asked, what questions you answered well, what questions gave you a tough time, things you missed out on mentioning. Note down any important names whom you'd like to follow on social media. Writing this down is important because we forget things quickly. This won't be the last interview you will give, and these bullet points will help you perform better in your next interviews, be it for this company or some other companies. Number 3, a thank you email. Within 24 hours of the interview, drop a quick thank you email to the hiring manager or the interviewer, whoever was your POC. Here are a few things you can mention in that email. Remind them of some of your strengths that align with the job. Address any awkward moments you had during the interview or questions you couldn't completely answer at that time. Mention links of any relevant articles or books that were discussed during the interview, just to reinforce your industry expertise. Express excitement towards the next steps, and of course, a note to thank them for their time and opportunity. This email will not guarantee you a job, but it's a nice thing to do to remain in their good books irrespective of what the result turns out to be. Number 4, avoid stalking. It's a little creepy if at the end of the interview you send your interviewer a LinkedIn request, a Facebook friend request, and a direct message on Instagram. Don't get me wrong, it's good to stay connected online with them, especially to know more about any future opportunities. But wait until the interview process is completed and only reach out to them through professional social networks. Number 5, follow up. If you haven't heard back from them about the results, a good rule of thumb is to wait for a week before following up, either through mail or a call, depending on what they prefer. Follow up just once a week for around 3 to 4 weeks, because hiring decisions can drag on for months. And in case the decision is not in your favor, thank them for a response and ask for any feedback about why you weren't selected. This will help you prepare better for your next interviews. And finally, keep up your search. From the time you start preparing for an interview to the time you actually receive an offer letter can take months. But now you know how to answer behavioral questions. You have brushed up your technical skills and you're getting feedback from your interviewers. So keep the ball rolling. Even for a great resume, it can take around 10 to 15 interviews to land up a good offer letter. So don't let a good or a bad interview stop you from applying for the next one. So those were some of the most common guidelines. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. The more interviews you give, the more custom guidelines you will come up for yourself. On that note, I'll see you in the next video.